Hi, technical errors, couldn't get it going straight off. Right. Turn the music down a fraction so I can sort of hear myself talk. Does everything look good? I'm asking my wife there because she should be looking at
I'm
this.
on my phone, sorry.
Right, anyway, how this happens is I'm going to go through, we're going to give about 10 minutes for everybody to get in. So I'm just going to have a rough run through what we're going to do and what you lot are going to have to do, the ones that are cooking and the ones that are just there drinking, just keep them topped up. But we're kicking it off, there goes the phone now, it's going to start going ping, 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 ping. We're going to kick it off where we're just going to say like, a big up to all the people. Oh, you're behind, didn't you?
I am.
You're going to have to turn the sound down. See, she's behind, so we've got like a slight delay at the top. Sound like that. Turn that down. Yeah, so we're going to kick it off where we're going to say like, in this... You got it? Staff, calm down. So we're going to kick it off by saying a big up to all these people that are keeping this country running at the moment.
You've got half a row.
Half a red, do I need to go back, do I? Yeah, so the nurses, the doctors, the shop workers, the lorry drivers, everybody, pie people, all the people that are like keeping this country going.
Dad's watching.
My dad's watching. Hi, Dad, you alright?
And Claire.
All the people that are keeping everything going, big up to you all, not just the nurses, not everyone. There's a lot of people that are like, moving hell on earth to keep us all fit, healthy, eating, everything. So, huge respect to you all. I've got like a little list here, so I'll keep looking over it. I'll have to write stuff down, getting old enough to get shit. Oh yeah, I might swear a little bit. I'm sorry if I swear too much. So we've done the shop workers. There's my ingredients. So I have eggs and sugar. That's going to be the first part in a minute. We have 70% chocolate. That's going to be a part of it in a second. I went with Oreos. I don't know what you lot have got. I saw somebody had Maltesers biscuits. Never heard of them, Josie. I don't know where you got them from, but they should work. We have your butter, the gelatine, which a lot of people haven't been able to get hold of. I'll show you a way around that. We'll figure that one out when we get to it. So the non-gelatine people, Mary, we'll sort you out. We have alcohol, Gladiator cider.
Josie hasn't weighed her ingredients.
She hasn't weighed her ingredients?
No.
Oh my god. Tell her to start weighing
Get
that
Mary
now.
to do it.
Mary, get on and start weighing her ingredients out. We have a bowl for the cream. Cream's in the fridge because it's pretty hot here today.
Hi, Libby.
Tin. Food processor, and then my hand mixer, and a bain-marie. This is how you do chocolate properly so it don't burn. So you have your chocolate in a bowl, you have a pan, we fill it with water, we put it on like that. I'll explain it all when we get to it. So, what time, how are we in with time? What's the time now? How long have we been on? You've got to be quicker with this, love.
4 minutes.
4 minutes. We'll give it a few more minutes just to make sure everybody's in and
You've
whatever.
got George in, you've got Lee in, you've got Heidi watching. We've got 43 here.
43, that's good, isn't it? Fill them drinks up, get them drinks going.
Neil's on it now.
I've got to be honest, I'm actually bricking it a little bit. It's like really weird, I'm going to have to...
This is delayed.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you going, what?
Yeah, she's having conversations with me because I'm filming here and then she's watching on delay. So, any questions? I'm going to do it, as we do it, I'm going to go a little bit slow. We'll do one bit, we'll have like a couple of minute chat, we'll let everybody get up to the same stage. Any questions, you just message through and she'll pick it up and then she'll pass them on and I'll tell you and we'll bail you out. But it's a piece of cake, this. It ain't that hard to do. And it tastes wicked. I had to make one the other day as a practice run. Right, just going to check my list. So we've explained how we're going to do it. We've done our bit of love to all the like massive people that are keeping our country going. I've told everybody to keep drinking with me.
Darren's only got an 8-inch tin, is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay, Darren. 8-inch tins, whatever. You're just going to have a deeper cake, that's all. No problems. We told you about the messaging. Oh, didn't tell you this bit. I've got a cheeky little game running, right? I'm going to give a bit of merch away. I don't know, a plate, a t-shirt, I haven't decided yet. In the picture here, we have 10 items of band merch or band, something. Basically, throughout the thing, if you can spot them all, send me a private message with the band name and what it is, and I'll put everybody in a hat and I'll draw a winner out, and we'll give a free pie plate, I think, or a t-shirt, I don't know, whatever you kind of want. We're going to do that, but there's 8 that are stationary in here, and there's 2 that are movable. If that sounds a bit weird, but that kind of like come out, and if you just keep watching, you might even have to watch it again. Right, are we at the 10-minute mark yet?
Nearly, keep talking.
Right, so we just get to the 10-minute mark, and then we're going to start baking. Is everybody good? This is weird because now I don't get no feedback. Give me some feedback. Say hi to me on air. You must have people helping.
Liz is saying hi. You've got Brett from the shop. Twiggy's
Oh, right,
up.
hiya Brett. Alright, Twigs.
Gemma.
Right, Liz. Gemma, which Gemma?
Warmington.
Hiya Jack.
Darren Edwards says, do your tattoos count as band there?
Ah, meant to say that. No tattoos, and I have an awesome baking apron. It was a birthday present from a certain someone, and all of that was like donated. I'll bring it closer. Is that not the coolest baking apron ever? But that doesn't count either. Can everybody hear me? Am I loud enough?
Yep. Heidi said hi. Liz Townsend said hi. Simon Goodyear, hi. Penny on and ready. George and Claire say hi.
Alright, so everybody can hear me. Can you just say whether I need to shout up a bit louder, or you can all sort of hear me talking?
Your brother said he can see loads, but he doesn't know the bands. Simon Murray said, is that Hazel I can hear? She can go there.
Hazel, yeah. Right, anyway, so in this day and age, wash your hands. Everybody go, wash your hands. I'm still here, just washing. I'm not going to move the iPad.
Johnny Della's here.
Hey Johnny.
Mark Warmington. Jack says hi.
Jack says hi, does he?
Heidi said you're loud and clear.
I'm loud and clear. Thank you, Heidi. Right then, I reckon it's about time to crack on and start making this. I ain't got a clue how this is going to go. I've never done nothing like this before. Hopefully we'll all end up with a nice cake tomorrow. You should do, it's quite easy to do. But if I screw it up a bit or I forget something, you just got to laugh at me and then go back, shout at me on the thing, and I'll sort you out. We'll get it there, no problems. Right, so first up, we're going to crack on, we're going to make the biscuit base. So, get your tin. Preferably spring-based tin. I know, oops, that wash. Yeah, no, you don't want to be dropping things. So preferably spring-based. That's spring-based. Jez didn't have one. She had like, she might just have a base that comes up. That'll work. But if you've got one that's just stuck in there, put it in. Cut the first bit out, grab it out, and then you'll be able to cut the rest out. Not a problem. So, spring base in. Don't worry about greasing it because you're going to have grease from the butter. Right, so food processor. I have a Hairy Baker's food processor. Quite a fancy, expensive one, so it's quite good. So basically, first off, you want your biscuits, whatever your choice of biscuits was. I'm not sure what everybody had.
Josie said, can she use chocolate orange?
Chocolate orange what?
Can she use chocolate orange? Chocolate orange? Is it a orange chocolate?
Chocolate orange biscuit? I don't know. She's just going to heckle me the whole...
I think she is.
It's just going to ruin me, isn't she? Right, so I have the recipe here, 300 biscuits. Whatever biscuits you've got is fine. If you've got, I have Oreos, so there's a bit of sweetness in there. If you're using just digestives, maybe just chuck a little handful of sugar in. I know somebody didn't have, because her mum won't let her, nobody had, how do we get a phone call?
It has started, yes. Can't you do it?
We're not on. She needs to go on Premier Pastries Pie Shop. That's what we're on.
Premier Pastries Pie Shop?
Yeah, not me personally. I'm literally just about to start. Tell her hurry up.
It comes live. It's just starting. So you've got the Premier Pastry Shop.
Hang on, we're just waiting for one Johnny come lately. She can't find me. She's looking on my personal Facebook. So she needs to go on Premier Pastries.
Bye.
Okay, she get on.
I know.
You can get on. You just need to go on Premier Pastries. Anybody else having problems not getting? No, because you're all there, aren't you? Well, you can go back and watch it anyway. So even if you're missing it live, you can catch back up. It's not a problem, not an issue. So your biscuits. So chucking your biscuits in there. I know Josie didn't have a food processor, so you need to get a bag and a rolling pin. And we'll
Geraldine's watching now. Is she in?
Geraldine's in. Hiya, Geraldine, you're in. Right, I haven't started. We're literally just starting now. So you're good.
Just found you as well.
Little Lee's just found. Yeah, I suppose all going on personal. Didn't think about work. Yeah. Anyway, right. Let's all have our biscuits in your food processor. Probably everybody's been waiting about half an hour. I've been sorting that out, haven't they?
Josie said salted or unsalted butter.
Jesus Christ, girl. Give me bloody apron back in a minute. Oh, you've done it. Right, so.
She's found a processor in the cupboard.
Oh, she's found a processor, has she? Oh. So those who didn't have a processor, basically you can bang it with a rolling pin and you need to melt your 300 butter in a pan and then mix it and do it that way. But we are not going to melt our butter because I do this. This is Nigella Lawson's way, which is way better. We just take ordinary butter, pop that straight in there. Just give it a little bit of a cut up. So the butter goes straight in there, and we do it cold because it makes it not as greasy. I hate it when you have these cheesecakes and they melt that butter down and it all goes like, you know, it's like melted and liquidy. And you put your biscuits in, then it sets back up and it always has that horrible waxy taste. Can't stand it. This way of doing it, you do it till it gets clumpy and then you press it all down and you end up with just such a better biscuit base at the end. You don't have that horrible waxy taste. Oh, Debbie's bashing her biscuits. So she best get Debbie. You best get your fat on and get that melting down because you're going to have to make it the old sort of traditional way. Right, we're going to have a bit of loud noise for 2 seconds. Just going to blitz this up. Doesn't take long. Takes about 30 seconds. Not long. Probably, yeah, I'll just check it, make sure. A spoon. I've just got a couple of little gloopy bits of butter in there, so just make sure you give it another thing and you don't have any of the butter. You shouldn't see none of that, it should all be mixed. Basically take that out. I mean, obviously we've all got different biscuits, so it's kind of a bit silly showing you this, but you should end up with some sort of textured consistency like that. I mean, mine's a bit grey looking because we've got Oreos, we've got the nice creamy stuff in there as well.
Josie's blender don't work.
A blender don't work. Tell her get your rolling pin out, Josie, get bashing.
The drumsticks.
Get your drumsticks out. Things in there, bash it down. In a bag like that, bash it down. So that means you're going to have to catch up now because you're going to have to do the melt your fat down on the pan, on a little saucepan. Right, so take your tin. Right, so get your base, back of a spoon, just press it all into place, get it all in there, yeah? So just give us 2 seconds to do that. You should all be doing the same. Now when we've got this done, we want to pop this in the fridge, wherever your fridge is. So get it all into the corners.
Got 54 people in now.
54. Rival Sons on playing at the moment. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them. Really good band. Cider's getting to me yet.
You're getting loads of lights for that one, you're singing.
Right, so I've got mine all pushed in, so hopefully everybody else is hopefully everybody else is up. There you go. So that's in there. Just going to pop that into my fridge. Right, so that's the first bit done. So hopefully everybody's up to date with me now. So you've got your bases, chuck them in the fridge, get them sort of setting up a little bit. Right, anybody else need a little bit longer time? Message me if you do, we'll hold on for like 2 minutes.
Got 58 in there.
Processor done, get rid of that out of the way.
Claire would like a Guinness and a Tia Maria. Claire Hill.
Claire Hill.
Yeah,
I would like a Guinness and a Tia Maria.
it's caravan bread, isn't it? Cooking.
Ah.
Is it in the fridge?
Yep, pop them in the fridge. When you've got that base done, just get it in the fridge, get it chilling down a bit. It doesn't make too much difference, but it just helps to have a bit of a chill on there. Right, so we'll give it another 30 seconds. Anybody got any questions while we're waiting? Just let everybody catch up. Anybody spotted the merch?
Claire Hill, she's got bits. She's spotted
Got bits, is she?
Could you give Mark a couple of minutes to catch him up?
Mark, a couple of minutes. Mark Warmington.
Yeah, and Lee said, yeah, my blender wouldn't work now, just finishing by hand.
Alright, bash them up by hand. We'll hold on for like 5 minutes, let everybody else catch up.
But you're slow on here anyway.
Yeah, I'm only like 30, I'm only like 10 seconds. I've got Monster Truck on now. Great band. Do I need to like breathe in, keep your belly in? Because big fat belly's hanging out. So I need to breathe. She's telling me I need to breathe in. She's going, don't look good.
Oh, your mum's watching.
I'll show you my drink dispenser. That's what we should do now. Well, you'll have to do this. No, not that one, because you're not on that one. Look. On that one.
What do I do?
You just got to point it at it.
Okay. I'm going to drop it and cock it out.
Right, so here we go. So we have Uno fridge. Is that showing up? 'Cause it's dark.
It's a bit dark, but I think we'll get the
Uno fridge filled with cider. That's the way to do it. So now we get cold cider. Now she needs to get that up. I need to stand in and position myself. I bet bloody Si and Dave don't have this problems, do they?
It's a tea towel.
Yeah, you do like that and just... With that, looks like you. Is that good? Right, so we're back in the shot. Everybody caught up yet?
Delia doesn't wait.
Hmm?
Someone said Delia doesn't wait. Loving the cider dispenser, Dave Major.
Connor, let's be having you then. Delia reference.
Shall I say everyone? Have you asked if everyone's ready?
Yeah, I think we're carrying on because it ain't going to take too long anyway for whoever's like melting down the fat. It was just 2 people, wasn't it?
I think
So Lee-
Deborah and Josie, her blender wouldn't work now, and Lee as well.
So it's Lee and Josie and Deborah.
Yeah.
They're the ones who need to know. Then as soon as you guys are ready, we'll crack on with the next bit. Oh yeah, this lasts for an
Mark's caught up now.
hour apparently. So I'm not sure. Hopefully we get it all in with an hour, but it might go on longer. I don't know. If we get cut off, we'll literally just have to run and like restart it up again. So don't panic.
Mark's just taken cider out of the fridge to make room for his days.
Drink the cider. Right. So anyway, right. Next bit, we're going to make the chocolate ganache now. So this is a bit. This is you don't need if you've got like the good chocolate. That's for the chocolate mousse cake. This is for something a little bit different on the sideline. So this was the bit at the bottom. So I want 200 grams of dark chocolate with half a pint of double cream. So you want to take a pan. I'm just going to get my cream. Measuring jug. So we want half a pint of cream. Put glasses on for this because I can't see nowadays. Right, there you go, half a pint of cream in your saucepan. I'll keep that because that'll do for whipping the cream up in a minute. So get your cream in a heavy pan, get that on the stove. The key thing to do here is don't walk away. You walk away from this stuff here and forget about it, it goes like that and everything goes haywire. We've done it at work a couple of times and the whole place has just been covered in smoke because when cream burns, it burns. And then basically what we're going to do in a second, we're going to warm that cream through just as it gets to a bubble, just as it starts heating up, which shouldn't take too long. Then we're going to tip it on top of the chocolate. Now if you're using the 70% chocolate, not a problem. I've got 48% there. That's just basically a bit cheaper and it'll do the job just as well. This is going to make our topping and a little sort of secret decoration after. I show you how to make some wicked chocolates with this, like proper stuff. Again, going back to the chocolate, why I was really going on about getting 70% is because the chocolates you buy in the shops, they're probably about 20%, and don't quote me on this because I'm not like some chocolate expert. I just know from when I was chefing and stuff like that, and I just know things that work and things that don't. I don't know the actual ins and outs. But the cheap chocolate shit you eat with Mars bars and stuff like that are just full of crap. They literally pile fat in it and stuff like this and everything, and they just bulk it out so that it's cheaper to make, which is why these chocolates nowadays just taste more rubbishy than what we did when we were kids, because there's so much rubbish going in it now just so they can save money and stuff. Hence why at work we use a 48% Belgian chocolate, which is really good. But for this, if you have the 70%, it just works so much better. It just sets your mousse back up. Basically,
I've got a question.
Basically, it's just pure chocolate without any rubbish put in it. That's what it is, and that's why you pay expensive for it. But it is so different. It is like drinking expensive wine and then crap wine. That's how different it is. Right, question, what's the question?
Twickox says, which measure chocolate are we heating?
200, the bottom one. 200 grams. So we had the mousse thing. When I did your recipes up, we had the mousse at the top, and then at the bottom we had 200 grams of just sort of double dark chocolate with half a pint of cream. That's what we're doing now. So this is nothing to do with the mousse cake at the moment.
Don't put any cream, Julia said.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Keeping an eye on it.
Have you greased your...
No, you don't need to grease the pans because you've got the butters in there and it comes off. You don't need that. If you're really worried about it, you could have lined it with a bit of paper, but I've never had an issue with it because like the biscuit base sets and then it just comes straight off. Right, it's handy if you have a little whisk ready for this part as well. I should have put that on my list, I didn't. So you're going to boil this cream up. When this cream comes to the boil, we're going to tip it into our 200 grams of chocolate, not the mousse cake chocolate. This is basically we're making what we call a ganache. And this is going to like set across the top of our chocolate mousse cake, which you'll see in a minute when we get around to it. And also I'm going to make, I'll show you, I've made mine earlier. As in any good TV programme, this is something we made earlier. So it's like little chocolate ganache things. Truffles, I should say, not ganache. And I'm going to be using them to decorate the top of mine.
Lee Graham said bases in the fridge, what have I missed?
Lee Graham, you need to get you're doing the ganache part now, which is the bottom part of the recipe. We're having 200 grams of dark chocolate and half a pint of cream. We need to get half a pint of cream in the saucepan warming up.
Adrian Vincent said, what point do you have the cider?
Now. Gotta be honest, I had one earlier as well because I was getting a bit nervous. I was pricking myself a little bit, but it's kicking in a bit now. Any other questions? Everybody on the ganache cream part, warming that up? Remember, keep an eye on it, don't go and burn it. Because it has a habit of like literally getting to the thing and in about 2 seconds it just overflows your pan. Any other questions? Everybody's still up to date?
Mark wants to know how to spell ganache.
G-A-N-A-C-H-E with one of them funny little French apostrophe things above the top of it. Right, my cream's starting to come to the boil, and she's drinking wine. Right, my cream's coming to the boil. There you go. So that was literally nearly over the top. Way. There you go. See, that's what you don't do, right? This is why we have live.
Do you want a pan?
Whatever. This is because I've got such good pans. They hold the heat. Right. There you go. This is why you never do live TV with kids, animals, and cream. Right.
Well, that's full of taste now.
No, it's only over it, it's just boiled over. Right, so watch you don't do that. That's what I was telling everybody not to do, because I was talking to you a lot, I missed it. Anyway, no harm lost with that, it just means you've got a bit of extra cleaning up to do. So you take your hot cream, hopefully you've got some left and haven't done what I just done. Pour that into a bowl with your 200 grams of chocolate. I don't know whether you can see that. I have like cream everywhere. Oop, perhaps I shouldn't have done that. Oop, now I've turned it around. What am I doing here? Just turn that back. There you go, we're back in the room. So, have one messy cooker covered in cream. Right, now you've got your chocolate, and this is like, I love this bit. This is one of my favourite things to do. How close am I? You're going to have to...
Behind.
Alright, we're going to have to let it catch up because I'm watching from here. I just want to make sure you can see this, what we do here. Right. Oh, because you've got a nice clear bowl as well, haven't I? Right. So just get your whisk. Just gently stir that around. And this just like... It's like magic. It just turns into like the best chocolate cake. I love it.
Like you're some now.
No, I do. You do this and you go round and round and it's just like milk, and then it melts, and then it all just...
I don't know I've ever done that.
No, Libby does it, see? You just keep stirring, and then you end up with this like most wonderful chocolate. And like again, it's the quality of chocolate you put in there. If you do it with the shitty block, that Scotch block or whatever they call it, oh, it's just pants, absolute rubbish. Right, it's starting to come now. Actually, that sounded a bit wrong, didn't it? That's probably the wrong term to use there. It's starting to mix in. Right, here we go. There you go, look at that, that's... Oh, this is really weird, because see, I'm watching on the other iPad here, and it's still milk, and yet here, I'm virtually there. It's like, it does mess with your head a little bit. But it's like this velvety... Hopefully everybody's up to the same stage as me, and hopefully everybody hasn't overflowed their pan like I told everybody to keep an eye on it and not do. Right.
Should it be grainy? Someone's just asked.
No, it shouldn't be grainy. Just keep mixing. Keep mixing. And then you end up with this like really velvety, smooth chocolate. So basically, when that's done, just set that aside. That's for later on. Trying to get a good picture of it. Actually, if I get a spoon, I can spoon it up and you can see what it looks like. Look at that.
Oh, Cynthia's watching from Vancouver.
Hello, Vancouver. See that? You end up with this really, really nice, just pure chocolate sauce. Is amazing. And if you want to be a little bit fancy, you could chuck a shot in there, a bit of bourbon, a bit of whiskey, rum,
Not
brandy, not cider.
Like a spirit.
And then you could have like again, when I show you how to make the truffles, you'd have like, you know, liqueur truffles. But for this, for the mousse cake, it's just better just to keep it plain and simple, because the more simple, the better. We get all the flavours then. Right, so basically, take that, chuck that over there out of the way. We don't need that for like half an hour. Right, what's the time? What are we doing on time?
Okay, you're 28 minutes in.
28 minutes in. Jeez, this takes some time, isn't it? Right, is everybody up with me? Because now we're going to start making the mousse
I
part.
have 196 grams left. The cream took long and I ate some. That's good.
Right, is everybody up with me? Have we all got our ganache done? Is that all set to the side? I'll give it another couple of minutes, just let people catch up. If you are caught up, we just start getting ready for the next bit. So that's the bit where we want, the next bit is your sugar. Stuck my glasses in cream, thank you very much, which is 100 grams of sugar and 2 eggs. So whilst you're waiting for the slow coaches to catch up, you can crack your egg into egg and sugars in the bowl.
Josie hasn't even started her ganache.
She hasn't started her ganache? I thought she was a proper baker. Or was I just taste her?
Simon Goodley has put a shot of JD into the ganache.
Shot of D, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, because you'll just have boozy chocolates at the end and you'll have a boozy chocolate layer. But any of this that we do, I mean, another thing, see, I was going to say, cooking is all about experimenting. See, now that chocolate, the biscuit base that we've just done, if you want to be a little bit quirkier and a little bit different, you could like now spread a nice thick layer of Biscoff before we put the chocolate mousse on. You could put salted nuts in the salted peanuts in the base and add like a salted sort of peanutty base. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. We could put a layer of marshmallows, the little mini marshmallows. We just put that down. So when we put the chocolate mousse on, it'll have all marshmallows in it. Do whatever you want. The only thing you have to remember is don't change the volume of the mousse that I'm about to teach you how to make. If you're adding things to it after, not a problem, because that'll mix in. But if you want to start adding like loads of alcohol into the mousse, or you're going to change the consistency of it and then it might not set up. That's the only thing I would say. But into that chocolate ganache, Simon, what you just done then, perfect. Just don't get it to the kids. Right, we're all there. Josie, you caught up yet? Right, so hopefully everybody's up to my stage now. 2 eggs, 100 grams of sugar in your mixing bowl. This is where you want the hand whisk, your electric whisk now. So take out your whisk.
Hang on.
Hang on. Who wants me to hang on?
To the mousse. Oh, that's clear.
Yes, you can add booze
and
to the mousse.
is this both eggs into sugar?
Yeah, both eggs. 2 eggs, 100 grams of sugar into the pan. And then basically, you want to mix it up. So if you're ready, start whisking it up. And what we've got to end up with, this would take about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So it's going to be a little bit boring to watch now, I thought, because I'm probably going to have to turn my back to you a little bit. And then you lot are going to be whisking away. Perhaps I'll turn the music up and have a little bit louder music.
Linda said, can we do this every week?
If it works. If these all work out, I don't see why not.
And Josie said, can she make it a batter bird tin? She hasn't got another one.
What?
Josie wants to make it. She's making it a batter bird tin.
She's just
tin
messing.
problems.
She's messing with my ratio. Yes, you can put it in a Battenberg tin. So you just need to get your biscuit base, chuck it out in the bottom, and then do it that way. And then you'll have to somehow tip it out, and you'll have slices. So you just have slices of mousse cake. Yeah, it'll work. Not a problem. Right. Slightly turn the music up just a little bit.
Is that the whisking?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to hear me whisk. It's going to be noisy. Right, so 100 grams of sugar, 2 eggs, whisk it up, go. We've got secret chef's tip. If your bowl's sliding, take a tea towel, place on your table, put your bowl on there, you don't need to hold it. Good time to drink. go, full speed. Whack it up. Up high, up high. Can you watch that pan? Yeah. Right, so with your whisking, you should end up with like a light, sort of frothy, almost thick double cream. A little bit ribbony, but it should have turned pale. That's when we're there. So you just take that, leave that to the side. Turn the music down a fraction. So leave it to the side. You don't need that for about 3-4 minutes. Right. Wash your whisks. Unless you're posh and got 2 whiskers, then you don't need to. And then now we want to mix up the cream. So we have that there. That's going to go in there. Half a pint.
Egg and sugar next, Josie said.
Yeah, egg and sugar. She's how far will she be on? Yeah. Whisk your egg and sugar up, Josie. 2 eggs, 100 grams of sugar in the bowl. Whisk it up until it's like sort of a thick, custardy, double creamy texture and pale. And then you're there with that. For everybody else, it's like getting on with it. Come on, slow coach, catch up. You need to take half a pint of double cream and we need to mix that up. Right, so half a pint of double cream. See, the good thing about doing something like this is it's instant. As soon as you made it, you're going to see it, and you can lick that bowl out. It's amazing when you start licking the bowl out in a minute. So you have no, it's not like we've got to sit here and wait. You're going to have to wait for overnight to set, but you can give it an hour and then cut it up if you want. But you will be tasting it today, and then tomorrow you can cut it up, and then, it's like...
It's double cream whipping cream in Canada.
No, double cream's thicker than whipping cream. I don't know about Canada, but we have 3 kinds of cream in this country. You have the single, your double, and your whipping. Whipping's slightly lighter. I always prefer to use double cream because it gives a thicker texture, which is great for mousses. The whipping cream tends to be a bit more airy and light. It's because you take the fat out of it, basically. It's stages of fat that comes out of it.
Mark's just said, how much butter do I add to the biscuit for the base then?
What? You're still doing biscuit base, Mark? You should have done that.
I'm not sure we did.
Where's my recipe? You can't be, Mr. Wilmington, how much cider have you been drinking? You can't be still on the biscuit base.
Leslie's asking for
150,
Josie.
150 butter. 150 butter, 300 biscuits. Blitz it up. Right, so for all us, we're on the cream next. Hopefully you've all done the sugar egg mix. That's there. So let's whip our cream up. We want it just over the edge, not where it turns to butter. If you've ever done that, you don't want to do that, but we want it quite thick. So you go like that and you don't come off the spoon, I'll show you. We don't want a wet, runny cream. luckily I can't overboil this. Yep, shit. Took it 2 seconds too far. So if you go just that bit too far, another chef's tips, put a tiny bit more cream in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. There you go.
What consistency on whipping the cream to?
So you want it that, so it's a little bit hard to come off of there, because you want to keep this thick, so when we fold it in with the wet mix in a minute, it loosens out and it keeps it nice and going. But if you have it too runny, you're adding too much runny stuff to runny stuff. So it's sort of that consistency, and I'm going to put that in the fridge. Right, just finding space in the fridge for that. Is everybody else up to date? Are we all on the cream part yet? Right, so we all at the cream part? Do I need to wait for everybody? Oh, took me out off. You're going to change me out, put me out back on. I actually couldn't find space in the fridge. There's a good idea of the texture. It's almost too thick to come off of that spoon. A bit clotted cream texture. That's what you're looking for.
Darren's still whipping his cream.
Oh, he's going to do it by hand, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you catch up, Darren. We'll wait for you. This is why you should have a little whisker. Whisker's good. Who else is waiting?
Mark's just said, could you use dog biscuits?
Dog biscuits? Yeah, probably good.
Oh, did you add the cream to the sugar and the eggs?
No. These are all separate for the moment. Don't go adding nothing yet.
Show them separate. That's Mark James.
Sugar and eggs, cream. Right. I'm just gonna go a little bit ahead here. Let everybody else catch up. But I'm just gonna tell you, so the ones that are there. Right, a bain marie basically is the best way to cook chocolate. Doing it in the microwave is just pants. Doing it in the microwave is just pants, because you can just overcook chocolate and it burns, and then you end up with like all bits. Oh, that's gross. So what you do is you put your chocolate in there, you put a touch of water in there. You don't want a lot, you want that much. That sits in it. It's not touching the bottom so you don't burn, but the water heats the chocolate, and that's the bain marie, and that is how you heat chocolate. So, for all you speedsters out there, we can start this bit. So you want like inch of water. You don't want too much, because if the water boils over and somehow gets in the chocolate, it spazzes it all out and it all goes weird. So you don't want to be doing that. So, this is where we use the decent chocolate. Just break it down in that bowl. Is Luby Lou watching?
Yes.
Is Luby Lou doing it with all her fancy vegetarian?
Wait to see if she comments.
Yeah, because I ain't got a clue where yours is going to turn out, love. I mean, some of the things you were asking me I've never even heard of. Aqua eggs or something. I don't know. But we should be able to get that. Everybody should end up with something.
Everyone's helping Joe's out at the moment. Oh, she's doing it, Luby Lou.
Luby Lou's doing it, is she?
Yeah. These are pictures.
You can't put pictures on the thing,
No,
can you?
but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
afterwards.
Tomorrow, when they all turn out, or later on,
Her
Pictures.
aqua filler is working well.
it's working well, is it? Right, so, right. Chocolate was 250 grams, so I had 225 in a bar. It's a bit of a pain, and then you have to buy an extra bar. But you can keep that for your next time. Right, we had a few people that didn't have gelatine. I can't remember who they were. One of them was the pain in the ass Josie. She hasn't got gelatine. Who else? Somebody else didn't have it.
Oh yeah, they're going to use extra chocolate.
I can't remember who the other person was now. Put that whole bar of chocolate in, because the chocolate's so good, it will help set it up. And you might not have as nice a cut when you take a slice out, but the chocolate will go back to its like, if you know when you have dark chocolate, it's that horrible bit of rock hard, and that's going to help you get back to that. So you can pop the extra bit of chocolate in, whoever them people are. I would suggest putting all 3 bars in. Right, so is everybody else there?
How many grams of chocolate in total?
250 in this part, in the mousse. But if you're going to put no gelatine, put all 3 bars in. I think they're 100 gram bars, and you've been putting 300 in.
Is the gelatine going in now, and how many sheets?
Gelatine, not yet. Wait for the gelatine. Let's just let everybody catch up. You're all jumping out of the gun now, see?
So once cream is
You're all
whipped,
thinking
what
your
we're
chest
doing-
now. Do what?
When the okay, we're too busy whipping the cream. We didn't hear what you're doing now.
Okay, right. So whipping the cream. That's there. We have our little egg sugar mix there. Now we're on to the bain marie part, which is inch of water in a pan, a little glass bowl on top, or you can even use another pan, that'll work. Basically, you don't want that to touch the heat, and you're going to use the steam to do the chocolate, and that chocolate is going to melt down. So we've got that on now. Am I going too fast? Do I need to slow down a little bit?
Yeah, Darren's asking what to do with the gelatine powder. I said nothing.
Yeah,
yet.
leave the gelatine powder. If you want to do something, flip your kettle on. There's a little thing. Then you-
We've got everyone at different stages.
Yeah. Yeah, if you flip your thing on, the gelatine, it takes 2 seconds. Once we get all these 3 things done here, once we get the cream whipped, the egg and sugar, the chocolate melted, we will then do the gelatine, and then it's just a matter of putting it together, and then we're done. But you've got to get all these 3 stages here. Normally I'd have done this by now, but because everybody is like sort of catching up and stuff like that. Any more need to know questions? Everybody's sort of up to date. What I'll do is I'll wait. Once we get the mousse, the cream, once we get the cream, the egg mix, the chocolate melted and the gelatine ready, we'll hold on, let everybody catch right up with us, and then we'll do the mixing part together. So I need some thumbs up on everybody that's doing it, and then let us know, and we'll all crack on with it together. Because there's a certain way of mixing it as well, because if you put the wrong thing in first, you end up screwing bits up and stuff.
Could you just remind people of the competition? Someone's just asked about your t-shirt change.
Someone else the t-shirt change today. Yeah. Competition, there's 10 items somewhere that are band merch, band related. Whoever like picks all 10 out, private message me with the 10 and what they are, and then we'll put everybody in a draw and we'll give out some merch.
Josie wants to know what she does after she's whipped the egg and cream.
You haven't whipped the egg and cream together, Josie, have you? Well, if you've got the cream whipped up and you've got your egg and sugar, yeah? So if you've got your egg and sugar, your cream whipped up, you need to get on with the chocolate next, which is... See, I don't even know if she's messing with me. She's like heckling me on live Facebook. Right. Ah, shit, that's hot. Right, Josie. So chocolate in there, the 250. In our little bain-marie, an inch of water in there. Make sure that pan doesn't touch the heat below. You should know this because you do this. And then we're just creating a bain-marie to warm the chocolate through so we don't like overcook it. Right, I'll let everybody get up to the chocolate stage and then we'll talk gelatin. Ah, ironically, tequila are on. As Josie's heckling me, this is her band playing now.
Did you say your tattoos don't count?
Yeah, tattoos don't count. Apron don't count. It's just whatever might be knocking around.
Yeah, Joe said, do I need to do something with the cream?
Who?
Jason. Does she need to do something with cream?
Yeah, tip it on your head.
God.
She's serious. You need to whip the cream up.
Cynthia just said, could you recut the biscuit bit? Because there's 11 o'clock in the morning there, she can't drink.
The biscuit bit. As in the biscuit base.
Yeah.
Right, Cynthia, as you're in Canada, and you might have missed the start, 300 grams of biscuit, whatever you want. Blitz it up in a processor. You chuck in 150 butter, just blitz it up, and then you just press it into the tin. I'll show you. You press it into your tin. We did Oreo, but you can use digestives, you can use hobnobs, ginger nuts, bourbon biscuit, I don't know, whatever you want to use, whatever's your biscuit cup of tea, use that. You just add that with the butter and then leave it in there. So you just literally make up your stuff. Here comes our cat now, Peter the cat, he's come. I can't, I'm cooking. Hello, Peter. We have a great big furry ass cat. Yeah, camera shy. Right. Everybody got their chocolate on? Take a little wooden spoon or a metal spoon, just give it a little bit of stir.
Neil said, is it best if just buying one from you?
Yes, Neil, it probably is. This is more fun though, isn't it?
Hey, Bill. Oh, look.
Right. Where are we to now, love? Everybody up with me? Ryder's Creed playing. He was in that video.
Oh, Jackie Pang, have you used the cocoa powder yet?
No, cocoa powder's right at the end, Jackie, right at the end. Don't worry about that bit yet. That's for the truffles. You dust the truffles in it. Amazing.
Gently warm the oven.
Oven? There's no ovens.
No, sorry. Molly's watching.
Who?
Ronnie Hobson.
Ronnie. Alright, Ronnie, do.
Crows. Oh, shh. Just waiting for the chocolate to melt. That's me, Graham.
Leaves up with the chocolate part. This isn't quite ready yet, but look, as you can see, through the heat of it, it's just starting to melt down. This is what we should be getting to. Right. So hopefully now everybody's got a base done. Everybody's got their cream whipped. Everybody's got their egg and sugar mix ready. And everybody's got their chocolate on going. Flip a kettle on. Get your water boiling because you just need a little bit of water for the gelatine. Those that are using gelatine, those that ain't should be putting extra chocolate in there because that'll help you out. Right, who else is behind?
Should I be dusting my truffles while I'm cooking? Surely I would need to wash my hands again then.
Who's dusting the truffles? Nobody's...
That's bloody Mark.
Mark ain't made your bloody truffles yet because your truffle mix is sodding off.
Deborah Blue School choc nearly melted.
Good on you, Debs.
Josie, when do you stop whipping the cream? October. When it's firm.
You want it looking a little bit, not quite clotted cream, just before clotted cream. Good test. Like that, so don't fall out. A bit fell out.
The cat will end that.
But that came off the spoon, honest. No more will fall out.
So Josie wants to know how much extra chocolate for the non-gelatinas.
Put your whole, you've probably got 3 bars. Put the whole bar in. So you've got 225 grams on it. 250 grams. Put there. If you've got 3 bars, put all 250, all 3 bars in.
Mark says, does the ganache need to be in the fridge?
No. Ganache not in the fridge, Mark. We don't want that in the fridge because you'll have to do your ganache things tomorrow, but we're going to use part of the topping. It's going to go on top of this in a minute. So we want it kind of like so we can pour it out. Hey Ronnie, Close Down Cruise. This is one of my favourites actually of your lot. That one, and I like the Sin or whatever it is, that one. I'm shit with names, but they're the ones I like. And Fighter's good.
James's wife's on the 4th glass of wine.
4th glass of
Is
wine,
that
is he?
okay? I went,
Yeah, of course that's okay. This is what it's all about. It's just about taking away the boredom of all this, like, you've got to stay in shit, isn't it? Yeah, just have a bit of a laugh. And then at the end of it, you've got something to show for it, hopefully. Hopefully I've taught you how to make a mousse
Sin
cake.
on skin. That's from B.
Sin on skin. There you go. Like I said, I'm rubbish with names. I just know I like the songs.
Mark says, we have no more room in our bottle recycling box now.
Yeah, be careful when you pick that metal spoon up in your chocolate pot, but it gets hot. As I just burnt my hand and found out.
You've done everything today.
I know this cider's going to my head now, see?
Yeah, actually she wants it out. Deborah Blue School's on toffee vodka.
Toffee vodka. Nice. Right, so I want thumbs up from everybody that's making once they've got their chocolate melted. When the chocolate's melted, we'll all go together and do the next bit. But I ain't going to go no further until you're all up to date.
I've got loads going. I've got 1, 2. Oh no, that's one person.
See, my chocolate's about 2 minutes away. See, again, this is the thing. Decent chocolate takes longer to melt down because it's not full of fat. It's not full of the crap. Nestles, all these people, they just plough it with this palm shit that they buy cheap abroad because it's like pence. That is just pure chocolate. That is why it takes longer to melt down. Because you've actually got proper stuff in there.
Darren Edwards is ready.
Darren's ready.
Josie, I think I've caught up.
Josie's caught up.
I have a bowl of whipped cream, a bowl of melted chocolate, a bowl of ganache, and a bowl of custard. Is that right?
Yes, right. That's right. Custard. There was one person I'd take to heckle me. Actually, 2. The 2 are the hecklers, isn't it? Josie and Mark. They're the 2 I would have thought would get. Yeah. Right, I'm nearly there, so hopefully everybody else is. We've got a bit of the Rocket Dolls on here. Good band. Weirdly enough, for whatever reason, they had us singing on their new album. Gang vocals, not quite singing, just shouting some shit in the background, but it's good. New album's out in May, go check them out.
I have a fish bowl of wine as well, is that correct? That's
Yes.
Mark. Mark says I like Josie. Hurry up now, as my chocolate is setting, that's Josie now.
It's not setting, keep it in the hot water. But let everybody catch up.
It's melted nice, that's Lee, Rocket Dolls in background. I think everyone's pretty much there.
Everyone's pretty much there. Right, so now you should have Non-gelatine people, you should have extra chocolate in that pan. For the gelatine people, if you've got leaf gelatine, take your leaf gelatine, 3 leaves, put it in some cold water now. Just put it in some cold water and leave it in there for about a minute, and it'll go very, very jelly-like. I probably should have told you this 2 minutes ago. I forgot that part because I couldn't get any leaf gelatine. I'm telling everybody else to get it, and I had to use powdered stuff. I hate powdered stuff. Powdered stuff is so vicious. You put it in and it just makes everything go rock hard, and it just does my head in. So whenever I'm cooking, I always use leaf gelatine because you put nice light leaves. It's like plastic. And you put it in some water and it just dissolves, and then you literally chuck it in a pan and bring it to the boiler for about 30 seconds and it all melts, and then you've got your leaf gelatine. This stuff, you just guess, one of these packets does a pint, and we don't need a pint of gelatine in this. We're literally just going to have 3-4 tablespoons just to help it set up, so when we cut it, it doesn't squidge out. Hence, I would rather have leaf gelatine, it's just so much better. Right, so leaf gelatine people, have we got that soaking in cold water?
How many leaves and how much water?
3 leaves, just put it in like a bowl or a cup. You can break it up, snap it, chuck it in there, snap it in half, just put it in. The more water the better, because you're not going to use all that water. You're going to like pull it out and it comes out like a jellyfish really. It's all like gloopy or whatever.
Everyone's saying how much water?
Yeah, literally just a cup of water, submerge it. You're not using the water, don't worry about it. Submerge your leaf gelatine down in the water. When everybody tells me they've got like a jelly, like it's all like gone weird and gloopy, then
Mark
we can
said,
go.
how much wine?
How much wine? 2 glasses. 1 for each hand.
Deborah Busco, is it? It's in.
It's in, good. How many people are leaf gelatine and how many people are powdering? I'm powdering, I didn't want to powder, I hate powder. I'll just explain why I hate powder. But I had no choice. So us powder people, we're going to boil our kettle, so you can get on and boil your kettle. And then we're going to pop a little bit of hot water, about that much in a cup. And then we're going to tip about half a packet of this gelatine. I'm assuming everybody's got the same size as me. So they got like sort of little sachets like that, and that does a pint, but we need nowhere near this. We're going to put about a third of that into hot water, stir it around, wait for it to dissolve, it takes about 30 seconds, and then we're just going to pop a bit into the stuff in a second. But once you get that hot, and once the people have got their leaf gelatine and they've put it on a pan and melted it down, then we're ready to go with making this mousse. It's actually taken a lot longer than I thought.
Josie's making, what's quarantining? Quarantining now while I'm waiting for the slow coaches.
We've been waiting for you all bloody day. That's only because you ain't got gelatine. Right, so thumbs up when everybody's doing leaf gelatine, you're ready to go.
I think they are, everyone said their leaves are in.
Leaves are in, eh? Right, dip your hand in the water. What does it feel like? Put it in, pull it
How
out.
much water for powder?
That's coming.
That's Mark.
Powder's coming in a second. Powder gelatine, 2 seconds. Let's just see how it is with the leaf gelatine.
I think you've got like 4 of them. What's this?
Oh, it's just
What hot water?
over there here, isn't it?
Is gelatine cold water or hot water?
Leaf gelatine. Leaf gelatine's cold. Leaf gelatine is cold.
I think that's why they heard you, because you were doing the powder, you said hot.
Yeah. The powder's going to be hot, leaf is cold. Because the leaf like soaks up the water and then you pull it out and then we just literally dip it in a pan and do it. But when everybody's leaves is all like jelly-like, soft, gooey, we're go.
Oh, quarantine is like a martini, except you put a shot of every alcohol you've got in the cupboard.
Actually, we should be drinking the 2-cup.
Finish it off, but it's all gone.
It's all gone. You drank all that? When did you drink all that? Oh.
Mark said 1 leaf.
3 leaves, Mark. 3 leaves. Right. So all the people that have got the leaf gelatine in cold water. Right. For all the people that are doing powdered gelatine, like me, take a cup. We want that much water in your cup from your kettle, hot. You should have boiled your kettle. Right, so I have like, you know, like an inch of hot water in there. Take said powdered gelatine. So I used some the other day, so you want about a third of that packet that you've got there. To be fair, this is just kind of guessing anyway. This is just going to help set it up. So tip that in there, get a fork, and then just give that a little stir and let that settle down. You'll find it all of a sudden it'll go a bit gloopy, look a little bit like this. Right, so if you just keep stirring it, eventually that'll just disappear. But the key thing is we don't want to overdo this gelatin. If we put too much in, you end up with like one bouncy ass mousse. You cut it and it's just like, oh, you want it smooth. You're putting a bit of gelatin in just to allow you to cut it so it doesn't ooze out like that.
Harry said it feels like jelly.
Yeah, Harry, you're good with jelly. So now, if everybody's got the leaf and it feels like jelly, dip your hands in, pull it out. So dip your hands in, pull it out, get a saucepan, plonk that stuff in the saucepan and stick it on the heat. 30 seconds and it'll all dissolve down, and then that's your gelatine. Right, so everybody with leaf get that. And everybody with the powdered, you probably notice that's all dissolved down now. So hopefully everybody is at the same stage. Now this is where the magic happens. So this is where you need space, possibly a helping hand from someone.
Did you want a helping hand from me?
No, I'll be alright. Right, take your chocolate out, the chocolate's hot, so go careful. Wipe the bottom because you'll have a bit of water on that. So, nice warm chocolate, all melted, ready to go. We have gelatine. Stick a tablespoon in it so that we can just spoon in some of that. Leaf gelatine, people, you should have yours melted down. Now, it doesn't take long, does it? So you literally put it in the pan and you should end up with like a liquid now. So take that liquid, stick that there, and you're ready to go. We should have our cream in a pot there. Nice whipped cream, ready to go. Stick that there. Now, you should have your sugar mix, but you'll notice that this has just gone down a little bit. So, probably just give it a little tiny whisk up. Right, so when everybody tells me they're ready to go, I get thumbs up from everybody, everyone's at the same stage, this is the bit where we start mixing it, and this is the bit that's key. We have to mix it in the right order. Don't go screwing it up and mixing it up different ways. If you put the gelatine in the wrong thing, it like... Comment with thumbs. Thumbs up when you're good to go. I want to get thumbs up from everybody we know. Thumbs.
Oh, okay. That's Harry. She's good to go.
Harry's good. Sis, she's good to go.
I'm just putting upside down, and now it's on the floor.
Who's that?
Josie.
She's disgusting.
I need to scrape it up.
We obviously didn't whip the cream up
Darren,
enough then.
Lee's on it. Lee's ready to go. Got 3.
3. I don't even know how many people are making
Who's
it.
that? I don't know
It's
who's-
Deborah's making it.
Yes, that's Harry.
Right.
This is behind, isn't it?
Yeah, we're all behind. Right. I'm assuming we're good to go. So I'll give it another 2 minutes. We'll give it another 2 minutes. Let everybody catch up. Basically, what we're going to do, I'll talk you through what we're going to do before we all go ahead and do it, just to make sure everybody's there. We are going to take said egg mix. We will then pour in the chocolate while stirring. If you don't stir, you can end up with like the chocolate can set into it, and you might end up with maybe chunks of chocolate because if it cools down too quick. So you've got to pour and stir, and then that does that part. Then into that, we add gelatine. So everybody that's got the 3 sheets of leaf, they can just chuck that in because that's good to go, because I know that's bang on. Us peasants that have got the shitty powdered stuff, we probably need to put about 3 tablespoons of the gelatine mix into our chocolate mix. Oh, what setting?
The gel.
I tell her to warm it back up again. If your gel's setting, if we're waiting for people to catch up, warm up. So when we got that mix, then we just fold in the cream. So just heat back up. Pop in the microwave 2 seconds. It won't take long. 5 seconds, it'll just stop it setting. See, mine's not. Because she's got the leaf. Right, so anyway. Right, I'm assuming everybody's ready to go. So if your gelatine's set up a little bit, just warm it back in the microwave. 5 seconds, you'll be good. So, first off, we take our bowl, just give it a gentle whisk up. Take your hot chocolate. Chef's tip, put this down below. And it ain't going to move around. So take your warm chocolate now. And then we just keep pouring that in. You see that pouring it in? Just keep stirring, pouring, stirring, pouring. You also need a spoon, because you don't want to waste nothing, because that chocolate was damn expensive. And you want that in it. Right, so now you should be looking at and you can see that's already starting to set up. Take your gelatine, so your 3 leafer persons, put it in. You should have literally taken the leaf out with no water, because that jelly would just melt down. So that jelly part just needs to go in there. Nobody should be tipping all that half a cup of water you had. I forgot to say that part, didn't I? But I did ask you to pull out the jelly, pop that in a pan. So you will end up with about that much mix. And then us poor leaf people, so I'm going to go with 3 of them, just 3 of them. Give that a little mix in there. Now you'll notice all of a sudden that gelatine's going to start to set it up. You'll notice it thickening already. Take your whisk out. Keep your whisk because you might need it in a second. Take your cream. Take half. Put half in. Now don't beat this. You want to turn. You want to gently stir it around. Stir it in. Get right under that bowl and then scoop it up like that, see? Because you don't want to beat the cream out, so it's big sweeping movements, and we want to keep all that in there. Because if we just beat the hell out of it, you're just going to overwhip it again. See? Right, now you can see, if I show you mine, see I've got little lumps, that's the cream in there. In a second, once we got that mixed in, I'll just take the whisk and gently whisk that in. So that's half of my cream. So now I'm adding the second half.
Oh, it smells good.
So get all that cream in there. So you should have now gelatine, cream, chocolate, all in there. So you can still see I've got that there. So now, gently, again, fold it in. I don't know, did they ever teach you at school the figure of 8? That's what you should be doing there. Yeah, that's how you're taught to cook. But you want to get round underneath it. You want to turn it over.
Because you don't knock the air out.
Yeah, you want to keep that lightness of it. But what you'll find is if I slightly overwhip my cream a fraction, so it's just that little bit harder to mix in, but I'll show you a trick to get rid of that in a second if everybody's done the same. But look at this now, it's just coming together now. Right, so there's mine. You can just see I got little bubbles. So let's take the spoon out of there. Take the whisk I was using earlier and just gently. You don't want to be beating this, we just want to break that cream down because that'll just mix into it. Now all of a sudden you can see I've got this nice, luxurious, whatever, chocolate Right, so now hopefully everybody's up to the same stage as me. Any issues? Message me. Just going to get your bases out now. As you can see, you need a bit of space because there's a lot of different mixing bowls that you have to get to do this. But anyway, so hopefully everybody's at the same stage as me now. So you've got this lovely, amazing chocolate. You see, it's not runny, it's not quite thick, it's just bang on. And now, don't waste none of this. Scrape it around, get right in there. Of course, unless you've got kids and you want to give them a spoon and let them crack on.
Is it supposed to be runny? Says Paul.
Shouldn't be. It should be like a. If you can see mine, it's like almost a thick sort of double cream texture.
What can we do if it's runny?
Shouldn't be running. Who's that?
Paul. Paul Damon.
That's what we should be ending up with. So it's still, if I hold it, it will run, but obviously the gelatine is going to set that back up. So hopefully you add your, who's that, Paul? Hopefully, Paul, you had your cream whipped up enough because that's what's giving it the lightness. So we pop that in the fridge for a couple of minutes.
Do higher up. Oh, Libby couldn't see it.
Libby couldn't see. Couldn't see what?
I don't know, she said couldn't see, do higher up.
Oh, it was probably when I was sharing it, was it? Yeah, but I can't because you tip it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it and it's all going to run out. It's like quite hard to... Right, so everybody now should have your chocolate mixes in. You should have folded that cream in and we should be getting it into the fridge now. Is everybody up with me? A little tidy down. So now this is where we need our chocolate ganache next. The thing we did at the start of the day.
When you were showing how thick it was,
yeah, I couldn't tip it up, Libs, because it was like when I was trying to show the thickness, it was like running off. That's my daughter, Libby, being critiqued by the pastry chef. Right, so hopefully everybody's there now. So let's have a little thumbs up on everybody that's in and got that mousse cake now. You should be like a sort of a runnier cross between, not quite whipped cream, but like a thicker double cream. Like when you get that extra thick double cream you have at Christmas and you go, but that is what we should be looking at. So we get lots of thumbs up now. Right, now bear in mind, obviously this will take a few hours to set back up. Normally I would wait an hour to do this next bit. You can if you want, but we can go ahead and do it because that ganache is cooled down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take half of that chocolate ganache and we're going to pour it on top of what we've just made. So I'll just give 2 minutes for everybody to catch up because this is our original chocolate ganache that we made. I mean, the sad thing is it's a bit warm nowadays, so it's not quite set up. And look, normally in the winter that sets up that'd be quite fudgy, but now it's still quite runny. But once you get that in the fridge, it'll be fine. As long as it's not hot and it won't melt the mousse when we put it on. But if you want to wait for an hour to do this part, feel free, not a problem. But I'm just going to go ahead and do mine. What normally happens is if you've had that in the fridge for about an hour, that's like cold and starting to set up. You pop that on. You don't need to, but you pop that on and then the coldness of that helps that set well quicker. What you don't want to do is put red hot that on top of that, because you'll just melt the top of the mousse. But because we did this first thing, which was probably an hour ago, even though it's not set up, it's still, it's not hot, so it's not going to melt your mousse. Right, I'm going to go and get mine out of the fridge now. Hopefully everybody's up with me. Is everybody's looking okay? Anybody got any issues? I think I need more cider.
We are waiting. We'll have a drink or three in the meantime. It's Mark.
Mark's going to wait to ganache it up.
Darren Edward, issues, loads.
What issues, Darren? What issues, Darren? Come on. Get him out.
Oh, Simon Goodyear, a bit runnier than I would like.
Shouldn't be. See, mine's, look, there's mine. That's been in the fridge like 2 minutes, that's already there.
Do you want me to check if you can see it?
Yeah, I can see that, I can turn it. It's literally just running slightly to the side, so that's how thick mine was. Hopefully everybody only put like 3 tablespoons of gelatine in, and they didn't go and tip like tons and tons in. Because that won't have helped.
Was too runny, hoping it will set in the fridge. That's called Damien. Is the mousse supposed to have a bite out of it? That's too, a bit runny. It's Mark. It's 3, so a bit runny.
3 of our runny mousses.
Yeah.
Without seeing them, I can't. Send me pictures. You're friends with me, aren't you? Send me a picture. Let me have a look. But I mean, as you can see, Moise is not running. It's so nice. That's only been in the fridge 5 minutes. So anyway, whilst we carry on with the issues that we might possibly have, we will go on to the next bit, which is I can do because mine's there. If you've got a runny one, I suggest you let it set a bit. But if yours looks like it's sort of thick and moussey already, take your ganache. You want about half of what we made, and then just pour that on top.
Oh, Darren thinks his mousse needs longer, only 50% chocolate.
Ah, that's your issue. So that's the chocolate there, but if you can, leave this an hour before you put this on. I'm just showing you because I don't want to put mine on. I wouldn't normally put it on this quick. I'd rather leave it for an hour, let that firm up. But it's, so you can see that.
Oh, ganache is runny, but mousse is ace.
The ganache should be runny because the ganache hasn't had a chance to set up.
Grab Mars watching him.
Right, so.
The ganache splits, so there's no way it's pouring.
Your ganache is split. How do you split a ganache? This is supposed to be foolproof. I'm obviously a shit teacher. Right, anyway. So, my mousse cake's in there.
Can you make it out?
I've kind of rushed and put my topping on. I would personally leave it another hour. And you can leave your chocolate ganache out, that's not a problem. Just don't put it in the fridge because it'll set. And then that's set up, you won't be able to do it. You need to be able to pour it. Right, to give you an idea, someone just...
So Sarah said it went grainy and oily on top. Thick as anything.
What, the ganache?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Sarah.
Sarah, so you use, see, it was 200... 200 dark chocolate. It should have been a reasonable quality. It didn't have to be the 70%, but it needs to be a reasonable quality one. And then half a pint of double cream. So if you look at mine, there's my one there. I mean, that's like silky and smooth. So that's what mine's like after an hour. But put it in the fridge, and that's what it ends up like. We can make balls out of it. So that's basically the two different kinds of ganache. So you put that in, we'll set that, and that'll go hard on top of our chocolate mousse cake, and it'll give you your biscuit base, it'll give you your mousse cake, and it'll give you another chocolate fudgy topping on top. And then, when that mix is set up, because you've got half a mix left, you pop that half a mix in the fridge. Tomorrow, you get up, you get a little spoon, you spoon out some bits, roll it between your hands, wash your hands first, roll it between your hands, and then
Sarah says I'm special, I'll make it work.
and then you take the cocoa powder. It's got to be cocoa, don't use chocolate because that's just full of crap as well. And you just take a bit of cocoa, and then we pop that over. Pop that over them, and then we have, what are they called? Truffles. Chocolate truffles.
Yay.
Then you can just dot them across the top of that. So the best thing to do with these, once you've rolled it, you've got to do this cold, obviously, because you're never going to get balls if you've got hot. Again, I probably shouldn't have said that, should I? That was a bit weird. But if you look there, so you coat it in the cocoa powder, and now you've got little chocolate truffles, and that's basically all Lint and Thorntons and all that, dude. That is just it. There's nothing else to it. If you want to, like you say, you want to get a little bit tricky with it, you can put in alcohol in that, and then you've got alcoholic ones. You could, rather than using cocoa powder, you could use coconut, you could use nuts. Yeah, well, it's your oyster, do whatever you want. So I'll take these out and I'll show you these now they're coated in cocoa powder.
Archie's smoking some balls.
Archie's what?
He's smoking some balls.
Naughty boy Archie.
Right, that base and chocolate mix is back in the fridge, so the ganache goes in the fridge overnight.
Ganache? No.
That's lincoln.
Hang on, mate. I'll talk to you in a second. So there's my little chocolate, I forgot the name again. What are they called?
Truffles.
Chocolate truffles, that's the chocolate truffles. But I'll talk you back through the ganache again. So, Lee Graham, listen. You take half of the earlier ganache mix, you tip it on top of your mousse. Best to leave your mousse for an hour. You can put it on now if you want. I put mine on, it just slightly started to melt a fraction. But if you leave it an hour, pop that on, but this needs to stay out. Don't put this in the fridge because it'll go hard like that. And then, obviously, you're not going to be pouring that on top of your mousse. So then once you've taken half of that on your mousse, pop your mousse cake in there, take this bowl, pop that in the fridge, leave it overnight, and that is set to like a big chunk of chocolate. And then you literally just roll out the chocolate, and then you just dip it in cocoa powder. It's got to be cocoa powder, don't go and use chocolate powder. It's got to be cocoa. And you literally dip it in that, and then you can pop these on top, and then that's your decoration. Chuck in a few Easter egg things, what they call mini eggs. Put a few of them in there if you want to make it for the kids. But they are amazing. But that needs to go in the fridge once you've taken half out. Don't go and put the whole thing in the fridge, because you will never pour that on your chocolate mousse cake. Make sense?
Simon Goodyear says all mousse set more the longer it stays in the fridge.
Yeah, it will do. Once everything starts kicking in. Yeah, you get your mousse in the fridge. I mean, you give it 2 hours if you want before you put that thing on, but it will start to set. Once the gelatine kicks in, it'll start to set. Any other questions?
Deborah actually answered Sarah and said that
Florence Black? Sorry. Deborah.
She actually answered Sarah and told her to put milk in the ganache.
Well, you can, if you can actually set up a bit. That was a question, wasn't it? Can I set up a little bit? Oh, is that the split one?
Oh, will rum work here?
Right, okay, so the split one, I've got to be honest, I've never ever split a ganache. It's just 2 ingredients, I don't quite get how that's split. I'm assuming maybe you didn't have quite the best chocolate, so maybe there's a bit of too much fat in the chocolate. But you could pop it in the microwave for like 10 seconds. Don't put it in there for like 30 seconds, 40, 50 seconds, because you'll burn it and it'll like go, you get little crystals in it, and it'll go shit. And it'll be like, it'll just be waste time. But if you just need that like little slight bit of heat in there, or pop it back on the bain marie, you can do like we did the original chocolate over a bit of hot water. If you've got a bit of time, that, and then do that. And then like Deborah said, maybe add a little bit more double cream into it. That might bring you back to a bit of a ganache. But I've never ever had one split before.
Lee said, can he put rum in his truffles?
Yeah. What? Yeah. And maybe put your half of your truffle on your cake, then the second half put rum in, because then you'll have rum truffles, and then your cake. So rather than having rum and rum, that would be the better way, I think. That's what I would do. So you can have your like rum truffles, but try not to put it in the first bit, because then you can keep your chocolate mousse, and then you've got like almost 4 flavours. Then so you'll have rum truffles, the ganache, the mousse, the biscuit base. So then you've got 4 lots going through.
Josie's licking all the bowls out.
Doesn't surprise me. Is Mum with you? Is Mum watching Josie?
I've even washed up. He's a good talker.
Josie's washed up?
No, Libby Lou.
Josie ain't bloody
No,
washed
she won't
up.
wash up. I had to wash up the mess when she came in our shop.
Right.
I added some more cream and it seems to be closer. This is Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
Spread it on beautifully. Thanks for all your help. I'll drink with you any week. Oops. Maybe the wine is to blame.
Possibly.
So Darren, oops. Rum ready in the ganache. Oh well.
Oh, you put it in the whole lot. Well, you're just going to have a more alcoholic cake, that's all. Yeah, ain't going to do no harm. But what I should show you is the one I did yesterday, because I had to practice this. Because if anybody noticed, I popped a post up yesterday. I'm a chef who pretty much doesn't use recipes. I like kind of just go in, I just go, and I go, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of that, and I go, nah, that didn't look right, add a bit more of that. And then when I realised I was doing this, I didn't quite understand that I needed a recipe, because I can't tell you lot just to chuck a bit of this in a bit of that, because I can't see it. So I had to go do it last night and have a practice run and actually write the recipe down. So we had a practice run last night. So to give you an idea what you should be looking at, this was our attempt last night. So that's kind of, oh, let's pop that one down. So you can see we got a nice biscuit base there, and then we got our mousse, and then we got a chocolate top across the top. To give you an idea, you can see how the mousse is it's not runny, it's set up. You got that nice chocolate sort of top there, and the biscuit base, and it tastes amazing. So hopefully that's what everybody's going to end up with. And then tomorrow, if you chuck on truffles across the top, there you go. What's Josie saying now?
No, it's not.
Mark?
I won't say that.
My 2 hecklers.
Oh my god.
Right, so I think, is everybody there? Can we sign off?
Oh, Paul Damien, think mine was runny because of the chocolate. Thanks guys, absolutely amazing.
Worst case scenario, if you don't quite set up, you're just going to cut it tomorrow and you're going to have a slightly runnier mousse cake. But it still tastes good. You just won't be able to cut it up and serve it up in nice slices. You know, it's not going to be, I've got to throw it away lark. You know, you're still going to have a good tasty thing. But I'm assuming, Paul, you didn't have 70% chocolate. It is pretty key to making a chocolate mousse cake. Because, as I said earlier, all the shit that goes into it. And then you're bringing that into the mousse. You're adding like lots of fat and stuff like that into it.
Can you deliver 2 slices over to Joe and Libby?
Maybe. No, not allowed. Isolation.
So everyone said same time next week. And what are you making next week?
I don't know, did it go all right?
What's next? Yeah, everyone's loving it.
I don't know whether this... What's the time? How long have we been on?
This is an hour up there. I'm not sure. Me, first time baking for years. Thanks a lot. I'm being rude, Helen. Read his last comment. What was that?
Go on, Mark. I don't know, if you'll give me the thumbs up, everybody thinks it was alright and it all turned out. I don't know, why not do it again? I'm up for it.
Josie wants Battenberg cake.
Yeah, we can do a Battenberg. We won't do it, if we're doing Battenberg, we ain't going to do an ordinary one. We'll have to do a...
Thanks, Helen. It's starting to burn.
The only thing with Battenberg cake is, we got to make sponge, and then that means we got to wait for it to cool down before we can get on and do it. Because the original recipe, because this is from my chef days. Basically, I worked in Exeter, and this was our go-to dessert. It was easy to do, but what we used to do, we never used biscuit base. We always use a sponge. But I took away the sponge today because I thought if we're going to get everybody to make a sponge, I'm going to have to wait for it to cool down before we can do it. So I went with a biscuit base just to make it a bit more simplistic for today. But normally we would have a nice, really good chocolate sponge, cut it in half, sit that inside the tin, and then put the mousse cake on that. And then you've got the sponge, which actually works better than the biscuit base. So if we do something like this again, it's got to be something that's instant. I don't know, I'll have to think. I mean, if everybody gives me a thumbs up before it was a bit of good fun, I'll do it again, I don't mind. Another thing, what I was going to say, I should have thought of this earlier, but if you've got it slightly too runny, don't panic. Wait there, 2 seconds. Wait 2 seconds, I'll show you something. Another chef trick. So when we screwed up and then we made something that wouldn't quite set properly, we would take a wine glass, one like that maybe, or basically you want something a bit big, and then we would put biscuit base or sponge in there, a little bit of alcohol, a bit of Madeira or something like that to soak in the sponge. Then we'd put a layer of mousse, we'd put a layer of the chocolate ganache, a layer of the mousse, and then you could layer it up and you could put different things in between it. You can put a little bit of Biscoff in, and you could end up with a layered mousse like that that doesn't have to set to be able to cut, but it'd be good to eat. So if you've got slightly runny mousses and you're a little bit panicky, go and get some glasses, flip it out into that, but you'll be fine. I'm sure you're going to be fine. But there's another option, so you can have layered mousses all the way up. And one of the reasons we don't make this in the shop is because you've got to cut it and then people have to walk away and eat it. It's more of a restaurant-y type dessert because it kind of falls apart a little bit. Whereas all of our stuff in the shop has to be taken out and eaten whilst we're holding it. So anything like this just falls off. And it kind of doesn't work. But yeah, if you're a little bit panicky, tip it into a glass. Put that chocolate mousse in between, set it in there, and you could actually have a nice layered thing all the way through.
How about you send in the ingredients?
Send who the ingredients?
Everyone that wants to take part.
Oh, what, like
Yeah.
put ingredients in the post?
Yeah, and then you can do it. Because
Right,
it's so hard.
We're not really that busy that we got time to do that, are we? We're like the busiest we've ever been, and you want me to send posts? Anyway, right, I think we're kind of there. What's the time?
Oh, apparently everyone wants you to send them a sponge cake.
Jesus, 22.
If you send a sponge cake, and then...
Sponge cake?
A lot of people are saying that.
Okay.
Mark
Or we
James
could
has just said hash cakes.
I can do that. Yeah. I mean, perhaps
How
if
about
we...
something savoury next time, Lee Graham said.
I'll do a mean butter chicken.
Yeah, butter chicken.
Indian butter chicken, I'll do a mean one of them.
Lush.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Post your stuff like, on the link here. Post, tell me what you all want. I'll go back through and I'll read it all later. And we had a bit of fun. But I think we've been like nearly 2 hours on here now.
Yeah.
How many people are still watching?
28.
Oh, so we lost half. So half, we bored half the people.
Josie wants cookies.
I hate cookies.
Cookies are hard.
They're not hard, I just don't like making them. I'm not a fan of cookies. She can make cookies anyway.
Butter chicken sounds good. That's Mark.
Yeah, see, I reckon that butter chicken, because that's
yeah.
that's
Butter
immense.
chicken,
The little
yeah.
cheeky recipe I got for that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I can actually show you how to make a decent Indian, like the base and everything, so you don't have to go and buy them. It is actually simple. It's not that hard. And you make one bit, and it just fans off into everything for chicken. Right, I think we're probably, I'm starting to slur a little now. This 8% side is getting to me, and I probably think I need to sign off. And yeah, leave your comments. If everybody had fun, I'll do it again, because let's face it, we ain't got much to do in this world at the moment, have we? We all got to stay in.
How many pies in a box through the post?
Oh, should advertise actually, shouldn't
Yeah,
I?
because James is asking.
Yeah, we do pies in the post, so
How many pies in a box?
we do pies in the post, so we can ship all over the country, no matter what. Go on our website, the menu's there. It's going to be slightly altered this week because I'm having to condense a bit because we're starting to run out of ingredients. Still got plenty, don't panic about that, but just slightly streamlined our amount of stuff that we're doing. Right, so we charge between $2.70 and $2.90 a pie. On the website there's a few options. You can have 10 pies, 15 pies, or 8 medium pies, like a family box. So they're the 3 options. You can pick from them, but it actually works out better if you buy the pies individually, add £13 postage on, because it costs a lot to post. People, it's like, it sounds a lot that we do, but it's £10 for postage and it's £3.50 for a box and the ice and stuff. So we have to charge the 13 quid to post them. But if you buy pies individually, we can get up to 28 pies in there. I think the 10 box works out at like $4.20 a pie. But if you went all the way up, even though you have to spend more money, you get to like the 28 pies, it costs you like $3.20 a pie, or $3.30, I don't know, you don't quote me on that, but it gets, the more you buy, the cheaper it gets. Even though you spend more money, you get more pies. They all last 5 days when you get them, or you can chuck them in the freezer, and then you can mix it all up with whatever you want. But with Toya, you've got some next week. Who else has got some? There's a few booked in for next week already. We can only do so many, so you need to get on it and let me know. Premier Pastries, just Google us. You'll see the website come up. Go and check it out. Give me a bell. Tell me what you want, and we'll sort it out. Right, I need to go. We done?
We've got 28 still on.
I've got 20. Yeah, but any more questions? I'm going to go. We'll give 2 minutes. Any more questions?
You ate some of ours today, brilliant. Neil Hunter.
Oh, Neil ate some of his pies today. Alright, Neil, dude. They go down alright? Do your mum like them? And little pots of veg with them? Ah, yeah, so you had an Easter egg, and then, so Josie, we've sent you an Easter egg, it hasn't bloody turned up. Yeah, we sent you and your mum an Easter egg, we did little half ones, we sent them on Tuesday and he hadn't turned up, gutted. So...
Were they in the garden and didn't answer their door?
I don't know. But we also sent some to Baz and his little girl and Terry. Heidi got one, she had one in her box, but you lot didn't get them. We sent them Tuesday and it's still not turned up, gutted. So you're probably going to get Easter eggs after Easter. Hopefully they'll be alright and they haven't melted in this hot weather. But they're little homemade jobs. So any more questions before we sign off? You got a minute. Far away. Cadillac free.
You haven't put any wagons on.
Yeah, they didn't come up today. Cadillac free. These are the ones that started us making pies. They challenged us in the pub. Sat having a few Jack Daniels with them, and they were like, "Pies? What's pies? We're American. We don't know what pies are." They only thought pies was just apple pie for whatever reason, but we ended up getting Jack Daniels, Coke, steak, barbecue spices in the pie for them. And then after that, it just seemed like a cool thing to do. So hence, we've befriended all these rock stars. Has everybody found the 10 items?
Oh.
Remember, you got to be messaging me. 10 items. Perhaps I'll take a picture. I'm starting to slur proper now, aren't I?
The boys say thank you for their Easter treats.
Oh,
Jackie
I
Hank says thank you for
I
their
popped some in the bag
sweets.
for him. I'll take a still picture and then everybody can zoom in and find it. Win yourself a plate and a t-shirt or something like that. Right. We've got to be good to go now. No more questions.
No, it's good.
Those questions are still coming. This is how you cook, isn't it? Beer and music. Life's just good.
Free man.
Electric Mary? Mary? Alright, I think I'm going to sign off now. Alright, cheers everyone, it's been fun. If you want it again, let me know. And if you do definitely want it again, give me some ideas and we'll figure some shit out. And, cheers everyone.
You're literally cutting off on your people.